Hey, it's Autumn. I'm currently recording and documenting me climbing the ranked leaderboards with the main goal of becoming #1 in New Zealand. I started at last place in New Zealand and had no clue how to improve. Now I'm 8th and I'm gonna break top 1000 global soon. One reason I'm doing this is that I want people to look back at the full climb and feel like they can do the same. The best way to improve is to practice. Just practice as much as you can. That's the obvious #1 thing you can do. However, I'd say that the second best thing you can do is to find some people to share the journey with. Alone, it can feel overwhelming, and at points when you get stuck, the thought of giving up will pop into your mind. But then you get a Discord notification from a friend or a server, and you remember that everyone is doing the same thing. You can share your tips to improve or your new top play. Go and join a VC and stream your game. Have people congratulate your W's and laugh together when you set a score which was 1 point away from your new top play. I can guarantee you that thought of quitting will disappear. That's why being in a community is one of the best ways to improve. Not only does it help you stay on track, but it also pushes you to become a better player. But when starting out, that can feel like a terrifying task. Joining a group of higher ranked players than you can feel like you're being thrown in the deep end. Part of that I feel is due to the amount of slang that is used in conversation about Beat Saber. So to help you take that jump and start interacting with the community, here are 47 terms used by Beat Saber players and what they mean. I also apologize in advance if I get anything wrong, because I'm still under 500 hours in this game, so you know, if I get anything wrong, just let me know in the comments if I did. If you already know these and you want to skip ahead, that's fine. Just make sure that you skip to the end, because I'm going to be making a fairly big announcement for my channel. Double directionals, or DDs, a mistake with mapping where two notes in a row are placed in the same direction, which makes hitting them really awkward and unnatural. Stacks, 2 same blocks on top of each other. Towers, 3 same blocks on top of each other. Sliders, a directional block followed by dot notes. Chains, a new block type which came out to replace stacks, towers, and sliders in an intended way. This is banned in ranked maps. Arcs, a new mapping tool which draws an arc from one note to the other to help players read intended map flow easier. Dodge walls, vertical walls that force the player to move side to side to avoid them. Duck walls, horizontal walls which force the player to duck. It is insanely annoying, especially when you have a low note jump distance. Bomb resets, 2 notes with bombs between them to force the player to move their hands out of the way. Overmapping, a map that has more blocks than there are beats in the song. This is usually for the sake of making the song harder, which is frowned upon. Undermapping, the opposite of overmapping, where there are less blocks than there are beats in the song, often to make high beats per minute songs easier. This is more acceptable than overmapping. Vision blocking, placing blocks, bombs, or walls in the middle slots of the map in a way which blocks line of sight to the rest of the map. Hand claps, 2 opposite colored notes facing inwards, causing the player to bash their controllers together. Vibe check, when the mapper makes the player swing left hand to the top right and right hand to the top left, causing the player to smack themselves in the head. Croissant, debatably the most natural and easiest pattern to hit. It's called the croissant because it's tasty and comforting on the pattern recognition monkey brain. NJS, note jump speed, the speed at which the notes will travel towards the player. This cannot be changed and it's set by the mapper. JD, jump distance. It is the distance from the player that the notes will spawn. This can be changed using mods. BPM, beats per minute, used to describe the number of beats that fit into a minute of the song. It usually has an influence on how crowded the mapping is. Score Saber, one of the 2 main mods / services that ranked players use to track performance and see leaderboards. This is the site that I primarily use. Beat Leader, the other main mod or service that ranked players use to track performance and see the leaderboards. Note you can use both Beat Leader and Score Saber at the same time. PP, this stands for performance points and is the unit for measuring who is better than who on the leaderboards. PP on Score Saber and Beat Leader is calculated differently, however it's more common people are referring to the Score Saber score when in conversation. Weighted PP. To make it more balanced to people who have played more songs than others, your second best play is decreased slightly, and then the third slightly more, 4th, 5th, and so on. Each time it will get decreased more and more. The final number is your weighted PP, and it's the amount of points you actually get at the end. Stars, simply a rating designated to maps through an algorithm to judge how difficult a map is. This takes many factors into consideration and can be quite difficult to get right on the first try. Overweighted, when a map has a higher star rating for its actual difficulty. This means that you will get a lot more PP than you actually should be getting. Underweighted, the opposite of overweighted, when a map has a higher star rating for its true difficulty. Reweight, if a map was overweighted or underweighted incorrectly the first time, moderators will manually nerf or buff a map. This can result in your top play getting nerfed and you losing PP. AC, standing for accuracy. It's the amount of points you got from the map divided by the total possible points you can get. This takes into consideration how big your swing angle was and also how close to the center of the block you hit. Overswing, when you swing a larger angle more than necessary to get full points. Underswing, when you swing at a smaller angle and you miss out on points because of it. Tilting, hitting blocks at the bottom of the saber can make getting higher accuracy more consistent as it's easier to control. Time dependency, or TD, swinging parallel to the path that the center of the block moves along through time. This removes the need for timing your swings perfectly. This is a fairly newer concept to further help getting better accuracy. Tech, complicated or difficult to hit patterns. Palm ups, a tech which involves making the player play with the palms of their hands facing upwards. Wrist rolls, a tech which involves making the player rapidly rotate their hand to hit the notes. Koji tech, an extreme version of tech where the patterns are extremely hard to read and hit. Speed maps, a map which has its difficulty come from having to hit many notes per second and requires you to swing fast. Flicks, quick 1-2 swings which require you to do a quick flick to hit. Jumps, up and down repeating pattern separated by a gap between the blocks. Streams, notes which are usually flat on the ground and are effectively just flat jumps. Vibro, an extreme version of speed consisting of fast doubles or streams. To the inexperienced, this just looks like vibrating your hands and hoping you hit something. BS Manager, my favorite and most recommended tool to mod and downgrade your Beat Saber installation. I have a tutorial on how to use this and I would highly recommend it. Mod Assistant, an older tool which I used to use which allows you to mod your game. However, it does not let you downgrade your game to an older version. Hit Score Visualizer, a mod which makes the scores for each swing much easier to read and improve with. PP Counter, a mod which allows the real-time viewing of how much PP there is to gain on a map, given your current performance. Easy Offset, the #1 mod for adjusting saber position to make you swing better. JD Fixer, a mod for adjusting the jump distance on maps, making the notes spawn closer or further away. Noodle extensions and mapping extensions. Mods which give the mapper more tools to create cool visual effects. If you've ever seen a crazy cool looking map, it's probably been thanks to one of these mods. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned at least something new, and I highly encourage you to join a Discord and interact with the community, since it will make climbing a lot easier and most importantly a lot more fun. Now, at the beginning, I did say I have an announcement for this channel, so I'm happy to announce that I have set up a Discord server. There are multiple reasons that I did this, but I mainly interact with other Beat Saber players through the OCE Discord. I would love to connect with more people. If you see me in the VC, feel free to join. I'll probably be recording, and you can find yourself in a video if you want. You can also go and see that I have a forum on that server where I list all of my video ideas, so you can see what I'm cooking up, suggest your own video ideas, you can vote on what you'd like to see next. I'm actually so excited about having this Discord. You can join using the link in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.